Hey, how's it going? This is Morgan from Vetting Value, a channel dedicated to reviewing physical products to determine if they're of quality or not. Today, we're doing a quick highlight video of one of my favorite topics, which is EDC carry. And this isn't the guns blazing and glory kind of EDC. It's the average Joe's kind of EDC of high quality products that I'll highlight that I make use out of every day. I have a construction background of about 8 years there before I got into my current line of work. And so I just wanted to do a quick highlight video of some high quality products that everyone can get some use out of. I'm quite the handyman myself. I always got a side project going on, and so maybe you guys can relate to that and make use out of some of these products. If any of these items interest you, they're all of quality. They all pass the Vetting Value standard, and I just want to make everything easy for you to find, so I will link everything in the description below. They're affiliate links. There's no extra cost to you, so let's jump into it. Right off the bat, we'll get into what I carry with me almost every day. Anytime I'm wearing a belt, I throw this on my hip, and it is a custom made EDC carry. Basically, a good friend of mine had handmade this for me out of leather. And so the first thing I use every day is obviously my pen. I carry a nice pen with me every day for when I'm signing off on receipts or I need to write down some notes. I have a good quality pen on me that I know is not going to dry up or cause any hassle there. This is the Scrivener Rollerball. It's almost a luxury pen of sorts. It's $35. I love this pen. It's got great ink flow on there. It's very smooth to write with. There's a spring inside, so when you do write, it kind of amplifies how smooth that rollerball is. It's a ceramic rollerball in there, so that ink glides very effortlessly off of that. It's a great pleasure to write with it. Honestly, I love it. I use it every day. Next thing you might not need every day, but I keep it on the waistband just in case, is a good quality flashlight. I chose the Milwaukee, what is that, Per Tough. It's just a cheap flashlight. I think I paid like $12 for it or something like that. It's $15. I prefer these ones because they have AAA batteries. And so I'm not always somewhere where I can get access to an outlet to plug in a, USB-C charged battery. So I actually do prefer having kind of that older school AAA battery flashlight. I love this thing. I've had this for years. As you can tell, it's a little beat up, and it has definitely seen its fair share of use. I'll throw that in there. Of course, every EDC for an all-purpose kind of carry style needs some sort of multi-tool. I chose the Leatherman Wave Plus. This was a gift for me from actually the same friend that made the holster for me. Gave me this for Christmas one year. I love this. It has a nice file on there. It's a dual grit file, very coarse grit over here, very fine grit over here. Obviously you have your serrated knife. It's not a saw because you have the saw here. So you have your serrated knife, you have your saw, and then obviously your blade there. It's very sharp. This thing I've gotten years ago and it still holds an edge very well. Obviously you have your pliers there with a wire cutter down there, very useful. You have your collection of assorted multi-tools down here. I do love that this comes with a pair of scissors. I'm always fishing, and so that is nice to have. Just to clip the lines. You don't want to be biting the lines off with your teeth and stuff like that. It does come with a mini flathead screwdriver. I kind of use this as a pick sometimes. It's not the best use for it, but that's what I use it for occasionally. On the other side, you obviously have your can opener and a Phillips head screwdriver. Throw that back in there. The last thing I carry in this holster is a mini crescent wrench. I always have side projects going around at the house, or if I'm working on a car real quick, something like that, where I might just need a small little wrench there. I keep that in there. It doesn't take up any space. It slides right in right there, and so I do like carrying that around just because it's kind of hassle free. But I'll link everything in the description below. Apart from my normal EDC holster selection, I'll also have a knife on me, some sort of blade, and so I have a few to pick from as far as kind of what I am doing or what have you. If I'm kind of out in the woods, I might want something like this. It's a fixed blade. This has a ox bone handle, I want to say, with brass inlays. They're super nice. It's all handmade, and I got 3 of these. Actually, it's a funny story because I bought 3 of these for Christmas for myself, my brother, and my good friend, and he accidentally sent one because it was a busy season, and so they only sent 1 of these, and so I had to obviously give the one gift, and I messaged them, and they made it right by sending me the 2 missing knives, and they actually sent me one in for free, and that is how I got this. I'm super grateful. I'll link these guys in the description below. It's a super great company. They're all handmade, and this is an ox bone or cow bone handle. It's very high quality with those brass inlays there. I love these knives. For stuff I'm doing outside in the woods, you know, if I'm just like kind of twiddling around at camp like that. My main go-to EDC is either this is the Civivi Lumi, or there's a CRT knife that I also like. It's not as menacing as this. This one has a very sharp point, so I don't like to bring this out everywhere, but it's basically a glorified letter opener for me. I do love how quick it opens, and with just me in the office, you know, I'm able to get away with that. But I'll link a CRKT knife. It looks a little less menacing. It's a sheep's foot handle. It almost looks like a nice quality box cutter. I love that knife. I don't have it. It's in my girlfriend's car right now, but it is a beautiful knife. Again, if I'm outside kind of doing some more outdoorsy stuff, hunting, fishing, camping, I love my Buck Knife 110. This obviously has seen some years and some very good use out of. One of my favorite knives. It keeps an edge very well and has high quality parts. Obviously a solid brass handle with a nice wood inlay there for the scales. One of my favorite knives. It holds up with a nice leather holster that again straps right onto my belt. If I don't have my EDC holster with my multi-tool in there, I like to bring over another multi-tool. This was a US multi-tool basically. It's almost like a Swiss Army knife, but made by the US in World War II. And so I do love this one. This one was another gift. You have a blade, a can opener, a separate can opener with a pry bar on there. So you get 2 can openers. You have a nice pick there, and it actually has a little prying action. It's a little sharp there, but you can kind of dig in there, kind of scratch out grooves or something, you know, stuff along those lines. Very simple. You get a blade, 2 can openers, a pry bar, and you can almost even use that as a little flathead, and a nice lanyard loop there. I love this. Very useful for when I don't have my Leatherman on me. At least I have a couple different options there. My last resort is my Buck Knife 112. This normally gets thrown in the fishing bag for just a spare blade. It's obviously seen its fair use as well. I get a lot of use out of my knives. I'm always using knives, always keep one on me, and I just love to at least be prepared for when I'm able to, you know, cut some rope or whatever. I'm always doing stuff outside, so a nice quality blade is a necessity. Not far from reach is always a nice quality tape measure. I keep one in the car, I keep one in the office, I keep one at the house. And so I just choose the Stanley Power Lock 25 foot. It gets most things measured. It does a great job. They don't bind up very easily, and they're cheap and affordable. And so obviously with the Stanley name, you get a good quality product. I love just to make sure I have tape measures basically everywhere I go, because I'm always either building a little side project or I need to make sure that, especially in the office, if I'm getting new furniture, new desks, something like that, I want to make sure they fit in the space that I have assigned for it. Another oddball that you don't see in most EDC videos is a lint roller. Same thing as the tape measure. I keep one in my car, at the office, in the apartment. And so I have 2 cats, and so we're always collecting hair at the house. I get the hair all over my clothes. I keep one in the car for when I'm going out. Maybe I leave the house quick and I am going to dinner to meet my fiance. I want to make sure I'm getting all that cat hair off me so I'm looking presentable. In the office, if I'm meeting clients, same thing. I might not realize I have cat hair all over my clothes, and so I'll use the lint roller. Very self-explanatory. I keep one everywhere. I buy like 4 packs of these, and I put one at the office, put a 4-pack in the car, put a 4-pack in the apartment. Love a good quality lint roller. Another honorable mention would be the Casio W800 HG, and I grabbed the Blackout series. This is very sleek in my eyes, but I have a few other watches that are a little nicer, and I always come back to this one because it's basically indestructible, and it's only $30. It has a 10-year battery lifespan, and so I've never had any issues with it keeping up with the date and time. And I do a whole bunch of hiking, fishing, and just all sorts of stuff outside. I'll swim, go around, and so I always come back to throwing this on since it is such a cheap option that is so reliable. For $30, you can't really beat that. And on Amazon, it has a 4.6 rating out of 5-star with over 25,000 reviews, 90% of which are 4- and 5-star reviews. So you really can't beat that. There's no going wrong with picking up just a cheap Casio. I keep this so that I can keep my phone in the car, in a bag, something like that. Another quality item I like to carry every day. It's a little big for the desk there, but it's a nice small leather bag. I have a Coach, they call it bum bag or side body bag, and it's just a single strap, high quality strap. I've had this for years. It's a nice quality genuine leather in there. You get a front pocket, a main pocket, and then within the main pocket you kind of have a back, almost like a tablet sleeve in there. That's normally what I use it for. I just throw a tablet in there when I'm on the go. I take it traveling, I take it to the office, I throw it right in the car. I'm not always carrying it, but I'll pack a few things in there. I'll throw it in my car so that at least I have a few extra things that aren't just kind of floating about. It just keeps me organized, and it's easy to grab and go if I just need, a few extra things that I don't want to stuff in my pockets. There is the Average Joe's EDC, at least my kind of Average Joe's EDC stuff, where I'm not really required to have a whole lot of impractical stuff. I don't need a whole lot of tools. The main essential normally gets me by just fine. Obviously, if I'm actually doing a major project, I have a whole workshop worth of tools that I can actually get the right tool for the job. But if I'm on the go, these items do a great job of making sure I'm well prepared. Again, all the links are in the description below for all these items. They're all of quality and pass the vetting value standard test. These are high quality products that you will definitely get your money's worth out of. All these items I've had for years, and that's why I feel very confident in making this review. I appreciate you sticking around for the video. I hope you guys have a great day.